Have you ever wondered what secrets lie behind the fairy tales we grew up with? Behind the beautiful stories of princes and princesses, kind fairies, and evil witches, there are often eerie and even gruesome original versions. Today, we will analyze the most famous fairy tales and discover how they originally looked. Get ready to be surprised. Fairy tales are not just children's stories, they are ancient legends filled with symbolism and cultural meanings. They have evolved over centuries, adapting to the moral standards of society. Take Cinderella, for example. In the Brothers Grimm version, the wicked stepsisters did not just endure failure, they cut off their toes and heels to fit into the coveted glass slipper. In the end, they were punished with blindness for their treachery. Or consider Little Red Riding Hood. We are used to a happy ending where the hunter rescues the girl and her grandmother. However, in the older version recorded by Charles Perrault, the wolf simply eats them both, and no savior arrives. Perrault embedded a moral lesson: children should be cautious of strangers. Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid also differs greatly from the Disney version. In the original, Ariel, who has no name in the story, experiences unbearable pain with every step, and the prince, in love with another, is oblivious to her sacrifice. In the end, the unfortunate mermaid does not find love and instead dissolves into sea foam. Sleeping Beauty, in the Italian version by Giambattista Basile, is titled Sun, Moon, and Talia. Here, the prince does not kiss the sleeping girl but finds her unconscious and leaves her pregnant in the castle. 9 months later, she gives birth, and one of the babies sucks the flax splinter from her finger, awakening her from the enchanted sleep. Hansel and Gretel is a terrifying story of hunger and survival. In some versions, they do not just encounter a witch but find gruesome remains of children she has devoured. Their stepmother's motives for abandoning them were inspired by real historical events during the Middle Ages. Some families abandon children during famines to survive. Even seemingly innocent tales like The Three Little Pigs were originally more brutal. In older versions, the wolf devours the first 2 pigs, and the third pig kills him by boiling him alive. This ending taught children that intelligence and strength were necessary to survive in a harsh world. Many fairy tales were not meant for children at all. They were passed down orally, often serving as dark cautionary tales for adults. For instance, an early version of Rapunzel included themes of forbidden love and punishment, while Snow White once ended with the evil queen being forced to dance in red-hot iron shoes until she died. How did such grim stories turn into the gentle fairy tales we read to children today? The answer lies in shifting societal norms. In the 18th and 19th centuries, fairy tales were adapted for broader audiences, removing their most gruesome elements. This process accelerated in the 20th century with Disney adaptations, which emphasized kindness and moral lessons. Thus, fairy tales serve as a mirror of their time. They change, but their essence remains. They tell stories of fear, hope, and the struggle for happiness. Which fairy tale surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.